Same place, same shade, we fall Hello and welcome everybody once again to this wonderful Tuesday night of racing action where the HCK Beagles Racing League have come away from their little bit of a winter break there from last week and into this new year, and they're facing yet another new track to this season here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 70 laps, which is something these guys have been practicing a bunch between the last race at Michigan and now. So it's gonna be time to see what these guys have in store for each other as we start to get tonight's festivities all out there and underway. We're gonna start off with the American National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And we are back as we get everybody out on track for this 10-minute qualifying. So we'll check in with the drivers and see how they're doing in just a moment. But let's introduce ourselves first here. I'm Alan Brown, and I'm joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how are you doing tonight, brother?
Great, man. Got a big old field here of Craftsman Truck Series. Yeah, it's been so long since they've been at Camping World Truck Series. Trucks running around out here. Big field. It's kind of hard to pass here. The banking's not real high. We're going to have some trucks getting loose coming off of 4 and 2, trying to get power back down, of course, and just going to be some worn out tires and maybe some tempers flaring tonight. But this historic track never disappoints. It's always fun to watch races here, so I love the Brickyard.
And that is for a fact. As we head on down into pit road, we got Mr. Adam Turner down there. Adam, how are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good. New year, same stuff. Let's keep racing, man. We had a nice break. I hope everybody enjoyed it, but it's time to get down to business at Indy. 75% fuel, 2 fast repairs, 70 laps. I'm not good at math, but somebody told me it's 175 miles. And the track is super hot, 114 degrees. I think that's going to play into a little bit of the action out here tonight. As y'all know, that it's a super fast, but it's not banked that much, and there's a little bit of slipping and sliding that can happen out there. So we should see some action.
Yeah, and you aren't kidding. As we look at today's race info, this race presented by Laid Back Racing. Go check them out on Facebook as they have a great kind of business there going with go-kart engines and go-kart parts, and I think they even custom make like the full-on chassis and everything. So if you want to end up in the winner's circle, man, I'd highly suggest you go check out Laid Back Racing and hit them up with some of your business, because, man, those are some great guys out there. And thank you for supporting this HCK Beagles Super Speedway Racing League. And all of that support is definitely goes unnoticed. But yes, we can see this 2.5 mile, a little different than your typical super speedway, not really that high of banking, and we got 4 very distinct corners here, even though they might look to be about the same. They're very different between each other. But like you said, Turner, it is extremely hot down there on the track tonight, and these drivers are going to struggle with that, which is also going to bring us to that key to the race. And man, oh man, is it important. It's find that clean air. It is going to be extremely difficult to pass, especially when older tires start to come into play. This is going to turn into kind of a one groove track, so you got to find that open, clean air and make use of it early.
Yeah, speaking of hot, I'll tell you what's hot right now is this HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. Y'all need to check that out. They just put that out, the website for this league, HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. And it has bios for the drivers. We're going to do some rundowns on that. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff coming on their website. So always something fancy going on over here.
They got sponsor page set up too, so if you guys want to know more about the race sponsors for this season, go check out the sponsors page as well. Or if you got questions for them, they have a chat button down there at the bottom. You can contact them. They're all over the web now, so.
Yeah, that they are. As we are currently in the middle of qualifying here, and we had quite a few guys put in times already. We're still waiting on a couple to get maybe a couple good times in here. Let's try to get the right camera going here. As currently sitting at that top of the leaderboard is Curtis Critchley. Man, he seems to be doing good at everything. We've seen him towards the top of that leaderboard week in and week out. But we're also seeing kind of newer names there, like Mark Collins, as we're watching Derek Rowdy Puckett go around here, tagging that outside wall on his first timed lap. And man, oh man, that one's not going to count for him.
Yeah, Derek Welch, another one of those guys, one of the numb thumbs drivers out there, had a little bit of trouble getting off the turn and ended up smacking that inside wall.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Walls are not forgiving.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We'll see what happens tonight with Team America. I know there's a little rivalry with some of these Canadian guys out here. Team America led by Kevin Winker, and he's got the State boys on board, and Joshua Moore. Those guys always putting on a show, too.
That's Bay Area. Rob Chowdhury is just finishing up his qualifying efforts, and not too bad right now. Just starting outside of that top 10, as looks like just about everybody has put in a time. We still just have Derek Puckett and Andrew Hansley out there as of right now, but you weren't kidding. This is a very, very full field, and space is, man, very critical. I mean, it looks like it's a wide track, but man, especially when you come down this front straightaway, when you got that pit wall on the inside and the outside wall there, it gets narrow quick.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to run 2 wide, much less try to do any 3 wide action around there. They just won't fit. There's one good racing line around here, and if it's occupied, you're not going to be able to make anything happen. You mentioned a little bit about clean air. That's going to be a huge deal here too, because as you guys know, we've all raced together. We know this. When you're right behind somebody and you get in these turns and the air's gone off your nose, you have no front grip. That thing's just going to start sliding up the racetrack and plowing, and no matter how much wheel you put into it, it's still going to burn that right front tire up. So these guys are going to have to watch their gaps and wait till they get a really good run before they attempt to pass.
Yeah, and I think if we see any of the green flag pit stops, there could be some issues there out of 4. That's kind of a tricky little entrance there. But, you know, we'll be lucky to see that. I think we're going to see some pretty good action. I think we're going to at least see one good one. One good one. I don't know what y'all are predicting out there. good crash and fight is what I'm talking about.
We've got lots of folks chiming in on Twitch. We appreciate all our regulars like Alabama Old Man, Knox Medusa, Angry Indian, ADD Transport. Appreciate all y'all being on tonight. Apologies, we don't have our YouTube up tonight. We're having some issues with that, but hey, that's why we have redundancy here. You can watch us on Facebook at m.tv on Facebook or on AAA Broadcasting on Twitch. So if one of the streams, something goes wrong with it, check the other one out. You won't miss a thing.
Oh, and trust me, this kind of race in action is something you do not want to miss. As we're starting to kind of pick up the pace here. We got a whole bunch of races going on, week in, week out. I think we're streaming 4 out of 5 days during the working week. So, man, we got something to offer to just about everybody. But for right now, qualifying has completed. So how about we go through and do a complete official grid rundown for these guys, as we got Curtis Critchley here taking pole position, able to stay out in front of Mark Collins there. Cale Turbeville had a pretty good qualifying effort there as well. He's going to be starting in third, with Rick Spencer Walt starting in fourth. Paul Ferdiani is going to be starting on that inside in fifth in that 66 truck, with the 20 of Justin Lawson starting here in sixth. In seventh, we have the 7 of Rick LePage, with Derek Welch in that one truck on his outside starting here in eighth. In ninth, we have Kyle Jackson with Cody Staten in the 15, rounding out your top 10.
Bay Area Rob Chowdhury in that 408 truck. It's like an In-N-Out burger truck. Pretty sweet paint. Starting in 11th. 51 of Joshua Moore starting in 12th. The 120 of Zach Dillon starting in 13th place. Brad Taylor in the 31 starting 14th. 15th place will be Zachary Staten in the 88. Stephen Naylor in the 5 machine starting 16th. Eric Stoy in the 4 truck starting in 17th place. Brandon Coleman in the 54 starting 18th. 19th place will be Dusty Smith in the 121. Rounding out your top 20 is Dylan Ellis in the 18th.
67, Nathan Stanley, 21st. The 6 of Paul Durkee. He's got quite the cool-looking paint job, Old Milwaukee. 22nd. 32, Matthew Jones, 23rd. Number 10, Stone Hutchison, 24th. 12, Austin Johnson, 25th. 61 of Kyle Hackett, 26th place. 8 of Derek Puckett, 27th. 24 of Andrew Hansley, the 4th, 28th. 28 of Henry Wyndham, 29th. And 39th, number 39 is Brandon Eastman in 30th spot. Go ahead and take it away there, English.
The 42, Kevin Winker will start 31st. Right beside him there is Brian Skidmore in the 79. Rodney Griffin start 33rd in the 97. Michael Hicks in the 76 starting 34th. Special Ed Murray in the 33 machine will start 35th. And rounding out your field today in the 45 truck, Michael Reynolds, who did not put in a qualifying time. Neither did a few of these guys. They just kind of say, well, they might just like passing trucks, Go for it, Mike.
That's a lot of trucks out here.
And you ain't kidding, as we are looking at it from a live view from the official AAA Broadcasting blimp, brought to you by iRacing. And you can see these guys as they head around through and come across turn number 4. Pace truck's going to be turning down and into that pit lane any second now, and we're going to get ready to go green flag racing. The fans are up on their feet. The flagman is ready. The green flag is out. Mark Collins and Curtis Critchley up here at that front, going to take us to this green flag. First time across the stripe. Green flag racing here tonight at Indianapolis, as we have a very clean start. And up here at the front, Curtis Critchley with a great start on that bottom line, able to get clean of everybody just about right off the bat. So he's going to be out in front all alone just for a moment. Cale Turbeville is sitting right there. Oh, so we got cars going through the grass in turn number 2.
Yeah, Ferdiani in the 66 is one of those. You want to put those left side tires right on that white line, but don't get too far over it or past it, because that's kind of the danger zone right there. You get 2 tires in the grass, You might end up taking somebody with you on the outside when you slide up there.
Man, oh no, as we got a truck going all the way through the infield there. That's that 32 of Matthew Jones. He's backwards and across the track.
That'll be your first caution there.
And that's going to bring out that first caution.
Yeah, it's a technical track. I mean, let's be honest. It's not easy to drive. How flat it is and how fast it is.
Hey, that's why I got them fast repairs. That truck's pretty beat up. He's definitely going to be using one when he pulls it through down here into the pits here. Probably worth taking the EOL and entering a closed pit. Looks like he won't.
Well, he shouldn't lose a lap here, but it's so big. Hey, get the nerves out. New year, new you. How about that? You start working yourself out here and iRacing, shake off some of that rust you might have from only a week ago, but still.
And man,
surprised people went and ghosted through him.
I know. Well, you know, I think he was, and thankfully, having a little bit of a connection issue there because he had a little problem, at least loading on my screen. But it kind of looked like he kind of got maybe a little snug in that corner, and he was already on that outside and really didn't have much more room out to that outside wall, and just tagged it and had to bounce the truck all the way down across the field, through the infield, and into that inside fence.
Yeah, they're kind of talking about that on the. You know, I listen in. I do a little bit of spying on these guys. They were talking about how he looked like he was floating through the air there. Oh, Matthew Jones. So connection could be the problem there.
And but yes, just like that, first caution here of the night. I think the caution laps are going to move around here pretty quickly. That was one of the nice things I think iRacing added was at super speedways you can kind of cut down on your laps of pacing because you know we're not here to pace, we're here to race, and this is
Nobody wants to do that.
this is definitely one of those tracks where I know everybody wants to race at, and I mean this is almost one of those crown jewel tracks that you always talk about. Like you have that date, like you know your schedule ahead of time, and you circle this date, being man, Indy. That's the one I really want to win.
And Donnie Turbeville on Facebook, pulling for Kale, said get up on that wheel. Bailey Hughes pulling on for the 18 machine. Who is that? Mr. Ellis. Yes, Dylan Ellis. Carol Hansley pulling for her grandson Andrew out there in the 24. And Chef Boyardee saying let's go Chef Boyardee racing. We do have a chef out here racing in his spare time when he has some, because you know these guys that work in the restaurant industry, these guys will pretty much work themselves to death.
Didn't he just crash? The chef? Wasn't that the chef that crashed? I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point. But why do they give out milk? Why do they hand out milk at the end when you win this thing? Wouldn't you want like a cold beer?
I don't know. It's a tradition thing, I guess. I know they do it during the 500. Did they used to do that during the Brickyard 400 too, the NASCAR?
I don't.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think if you climbed out of a 150-degree race car,
Milk is the last thing you need, right?
Milk's
Your body needs. Yeah.
Will Ferrell and Anchorman, milk was a bad choice. Yeah, that me puke.
Well, it turned right into like cottage cheese or butter or something. Yeah, give me a cold beer like Paul Durkee's got on his machine.
There you go.
Oh, Milwaukee, I'll take one of those when I get out of that. It's 100 and something degrees out there on the track, and no telling what it would actually feel like if you were in one of these things. Definitely don't want milk.
As our field gets all stacked back up and ready to go back to green flag racing here. And, yeah, man, looking at that old Milwaukee paint, woo, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just kind of staring at it in awe. I love it. Just old school. Remember my dad throwing those around the backyard, when I was about 3rd grade, Hey, go chase the can, boy. Throw the can out there, you go get the can. I don't know if y'all had that same thing growing up.
He'd say, "Why don't you go dig a hole, and I'll go get another beer."
Yeah. Throw this trash out. Yeah. Fun. I remember the fun times like that.
Oh yeah. Knox Medusa pulling for the 408. Yep, started back in 11th spot, still sitting up there at 12. Got a lot of racing left to do. Looks like we're about to get restarted here in just a second.
Yes, that we are, as this field comes out of turn number 4, so that pace car is going to be making that dive down into pit lane as we speak. So Curtis Critchley up here at the front again with Cale Turbeville on that outside, getting this restart underway, and green flag racing here once again as they come across that 1 yard of bricks as that kind of start finish line to get this one back underway, getting a very nice restart there. And it looks like everyone's being fairly tame, but at the same time we got 2 wide racing action going on all the way back through this field as Curtis able to get out in front early. Oh, great save there. Wasn't able to see.
It was the 88 of Stanton. Got tapped in the rear end there.
Yeah, they threw the yellow.
Oh, okay, they're saying the 24 spun out. I didn't see that on my
Must have
camera.
been in the back of the field, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have so many drivers. It's hard to watch every single thing that's going on out here, even with their 6 of our little eyes, us.
See if we can't get a see on what happened here. Let me make sure I'm drawing all the cars, because I may not be drawing all the cars here.
We may not have data for that car.
I'm
Get a big
watching
field
this.
like this on a big track.
Draw cars, draw pits. Yeah, no, so it should be drawn. But yeah, no, big tracks like this with big fields, man, it's doesn't really like to work out for us here.
Well, Hansley hit the wall going in there, and he came down. He hit another truck. Didn't really, just kind of caused a little bit of damage to the other truck, so it wasn't anything crazy. The show must go on.
Yeah, but we also did see Zachary Staten there in that 88. Man, that was a great save. I thought we were going to see a pretty big pileup there going into, I believe that was turn number 3. But, man, that was a great job by him.
And, you know, immediately after it happened, I heard the 54 of Brandon Coleman come over the radio and say, "Hey, man, I'm sorry I got into your corner there." And it did do a little bit of damage to the 88. Nothing he can't recover from. Ooh. Sounds like the 39 truck lost an engine, I think. Brandon Eastman reporting on the radio that his motor just expired.
Yeah, Rodney Griffin is pushing him around.
Rodney Griffin's pushing him? That's the 97?
97 is
Let me go
pushing
check
him.
that out.
He's pushing him around right now.
I gotta see this. Oh man, what a
Good sportsmanship.
that's sportsmanship right there.
But, I mean, we're also looking at that 39 truck. He doesn't almost have a speck of damage on that thing.
It's funny, it's just a little bit bent up. I wonder if he missed a shift or something.
I'm wondering, is that the one that Hansley hit? I'm not quite sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's too many cars. I'm over here with the COVID queen taking care of her. I got a lot of things going on over here.
I hope she's feeling better today.
Yeah, she needs ice cream. So I'm rooting around here, from the Beat Laboratory doing everything.
Go down to the vet's office, maybe score some ivermectin or something, maybe.
Already done that. I went to local feed store.
Tractor supply.
Mix it in the ice cream.
Got the Rage Master 83 on Twitch joining us here tonight, saying get some 20 Lawson, cheering on that 20 of Justin Lawson, and also asking who's that 54 guy. Well, that would be Mr. Brandon Coleman, racing out of North Carolina there, driving that wonderfully painted Pepsi Max truck.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dang it,
Rodney
that-
Griffin. What a What a sportsman. What's wrong with you? You all right?
My chest hurts from laughing so hard.
It's true.
I can just see you squirting.
She
right
got
now.
the Omicron. Listen, don't ever go to Houston in the middle of a disaster, okay? I've been there for a long time. That was my life. And it just does things to you.
You escaped.
I did escape it, and now it's back with the COVID. I don't know what to say. Everything's going okay. You know, it affects different people differently, and luckily we can joke about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But she does have the Omicrons. But she wants ice cream and food, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. She's doing a lot better than a lot of other folks are. That's for sure.
Yeah, the COVID queen.
It's like we're stacking back up too wide. Got about half a lap more to go here? Where are we on backstretch now? Backstretch.
Nah, we're just coming out to the backstretch, heading through turn number 2 right now.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that
live.
lights on that pace car are turned off, so we will be going back to green flag racing this lap. But the other thing I'm noticing here is no one's coming down pit lane, and I'm wondering, is this one of those situations where I don't care if I only ran half a lap on tires or 10 laps on tires, I would be coming down into those pits.
Every time. For me. I agree with you. I would come down there. You know, you can't predict if they're going to have a long green flag run. Might as well get those fresh ones out there. You're really not going to lose much.
But if you're in the top 5 cars here and you go, you're going to lose 30 positions.
That means you're good. I'm talking about me personally.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not. I would be in the back, so I'd be getting new stuff.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I now have all the context I need to make an intelligent statement.
It's a lot of words from somebody from Louisiana.
Oh, damn.
So as these guys exit turn number 4 once again, so that pace car making the dive down into pit lane, getting ready to head on back to this green flag race. And Curtis Critchley and now Rick Spencer Walt up here at the front. 2 Canadians side by side, and here we go. Another great restart there for Curtis as he's able to get clean and free of everybody there rather quickly, so he's able to jump right onto that racing line and try to get this party started again, as everyone seems maybe a little more tame this time. Not as much too wide action going on, but we are still too wide, almost 3 wide now out here on that backstretch. It looks like Rob Chowdhury is involved in that kind of little kerbuckle, and here comes Eric Stoy in the Ford trying to make his way up through the field as well.
That's like a cross between a debacle and a kerfuffle.
I like it. I think he just made up a word that we're going to use every time.
Well, did you see on the restart, Curtis and Rick starting on that front row up there? Rick Spencer Walt was just a fraction of a second behind him, but it looks like they might have had a little something worked out because they went single file almost right away. Team
Canada, they're a little pesky organization. Whoa, Puckett just got slammed into. Number 8.
Rowdy.
He's okay. He got roughed up a little bit there on turn 1. Somebody smoked him like I shouldn't say.
Like a Christmas ham?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go. Thank you. I'm trying to not get banned from some of these. I've been suspended a couple times, guys, so I'm a little.
Yeah, you just got done off your probationary period.
Yeah.
Do you really want to go back to? Well, it's not really Facebook jail. It's Twitch jail.
No, I'm trying my best. I'm working harder than the Mrs. Poindexter.
And man, you can kind of see there's a little separation going on between the top 4 and all the way back to 5th. It's about a second now. That little kind of, I don't want to say chase pack, but they're falling back behind the leaders here is being led by Cody Staten as we got an issue going on.
Yeah, Ferdiani. A truck just went around him and it didn't look like he was clear. But he kind of sent it up there anyway. And Ferdiani had a little contact on the left front of his nose, but wisely got out of the gas and went ahead and let that truck go by. Didn't see who that was. I'm sorry. Ooh, man, it was tight up there.
There's some pretty good action going on now. We kind of settled in here. I think the track's cooling off a little bit. Maybe that's going to help out. A little shade.
We talked about how it was hard to pass, but we are seeing some passing going on out here.
Well, these guys are also still on relatively fresh tires as we're 3 wide somewhere on the track.
We were 3 wide back here with Ferdiani and who's that? The 6 truck and 42. 42 at Kevin Winker.
Ferdiani, that just sounds like an artist, you know, like a musician
like a
or something.
Poser or something?
Yeah.
Well, like posers were Italian.
Yeah, Ferdiani. I don't know.
Oh, man, as that car behind them, I think that was the 5 of Steven Naylor, man. He might have snagged that outside wall just a little bit and was able to save it and gather it back under itself.
Ferdiani's still running side by side with Winker back here for, what is this, for 12th place?
Rick LePage in the number 7 truck in the top 10. He looks like he's running really smooth so far.
Yeah, he's actually down a couple of positions, but
yeah, he's just running it real
holding on
smooth.
top 10.
Yeah.
Staying safe.
And you're top 15 in this league. You're doing something. This is a tough league. Lots of trucks. A lot of action.
As Kevin Winker able to break free, now sitting in 14th spot, up 17 from where he started. Just looking to continue this charge and get on up through the front as everyone continues to get a little bit more and more spaced out. I think people are now trying to see, okay, we're going to have a green flag run here. Let's get all settled in and let everything kind of play itself out. And who knows, let's maybe make this thing matter when it comes to pit stops.
Yeah, the 51 truck of Joshua Moore is up 5 spots right now as Joel Moore is on Facebook pulling for him, saying, let's go Josh Moore, number 51, and Brandon Johnson pulling for Cale Turbeville up there. Thank you for joining us, Brandy and Joel. Appreciate our viewers on Facebook and Twitch tonight. We're going to have a little workaround for next week, so we will have a...
yeah, the YouTube. We gotta share with another broadcast team. That's really what's happening. So.
408 of Rob Chowdhury ended up on the access road down there. I'm not sure how he ended up there.
Yeah, we had a couple people coming out of the pit, so we were actually 4 wide for a second as we were 3 wide of people racing, trying to get around each other. And, man, that was one of those kind of dangerous places there on that backstretch.
Richard Gray is not racing with us tonight, but he's on Twitch, pulling for Numb Thumbs Racing.
Oh, as we got a big-time contact between Dusty Smith. Oh, man, they're able to get it back together, but, man, it looks like Dusty and Brandon Eastman getting all tangled up and into that outside wall, but able to keep it going, and that was very close to being absolutely catastrophic for those two's races.
No Richard Gray tonight? Wow.
What he's got going on? He might be working. You know, he works construction. He works kind of different hours.
I think he points at people and tells them what to do or something like that.
Kicks road cones into traffic. Yeah.
He's that guy.
He
does.
On a motorcycle. He throws
and we'll talk about it when we get chances, but he is on the website, HCK BeaglesRacingLeague.com. You want to learn about him, check out his bio. He's got a bio out there. Believe it or not, he's from Concord, North Carolina.
As the 7 of Rick LePage is having a battle here with the 4 of Eric Stoy as the yellow's out. And that was for a top 10 position that Rick LePage just got passed for there.
Alabama Old Man also pulling for Numb Thumbs Racing out there tonight. Thanks for joining us. As always.
No, I think it might have involved the 33 of Eddie Murray.
Uh-oh. Special Ed got wrecked. That ain't good. I know he started way back in the back of the field.
Gosh dang it, iRacing. All I want to do is watch what happened, and I can't see it. But, yeah, Eddie Murray was coming down the pits very slowly there. I think might have had a blown engine. Probably hit one of those walls. And, man, oh, man. Not good there for that 33 of Eddie.
Yeah, he came down in front of the 32 of Jones. I don't know who did what, but they connected there in turn 4. Eddie unfortunately got the worst of that.
Radio pretty silent from those two drivers right now. Sure, they're thinking about what they're going to say later or do later.
You
Scott
there might be a
Langford.
fight? All right.
That's possible. Scott Langford, thanks for joining us on Facebook. Also pulling for Cale Turbeville. Cale got some cheering section out there today. At least 3 or 4 people.
Currently sitting there in third, having a great run so far. Not making up any ground, but more importantly, he's not losing it either. So Cale doing a great job up there at the front. Same thing, Kyle Jackson in the 60 truck. He's now up 5 spots, sitting there in fourth, having a great run. We know we got some fans out there for Justin Lawson, who's still currently right around in 6th. And man, I mean, biggest mover so far is that 42 of Winker, who's up into 12th. And who knows, depending on the pit strategy, as it looks like everybody coming down here this time, now that they actually had a green flag run.
Yeah, them tires, it's time to replace them suckers.
Yeah, Winker's
Wink.
the captain of Team America. Team America.
Yeah, he's a U.S. Army vet. Appreciate your service there, Kevin. That guy can drive, I'm telling you. Start way back in the back. He's made up a lot of spots.
Boy, it's a madhouse down here on Pit Road.
Man, we got to get you one of those background sound effects of those air guns going, meow, 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 meow.
We're only going to need one, just whoop, from now on with the next gen.
Next year, yeah.
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 As Curtis Critchley won that race off of pit road. It looks like really nobody kind of changing up positions here, but Matthew Jones in that 32 truck decided to just stay out altogether. So he's going to be the current leader. The question is he going to kind of make one of those late pit stops and kind of head towards the back?
It does look like we had a couple of trucks that maybe just took 2 tires. I think they were previously pitted, though.
Well, I mean, their strategy is going to play itself out here. I don't know about what Jones is going to do here, but it's going to be interesting.
If he was a lap down, well, no, he wasn't. He was a lead lap truck, wasn't he? Matthew Jones, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any. Yeah,
No, he had an incident, but he did not go any laps down. I don't believe.
He got an EOL for that first caution. Well, look at him. He's climbed all the way back up to 11th. Yeah, that was from skipping that pit stop. Let's see what happens there with that.
I'm pretty sure he needs to come in and grab some fuel and tires.
Yeah, well, Matthew Jones staying out, so he's going to be the leader up there on that front row with some old tires to when we go back to green flag racing here tonight.
Yeah, it might get kind of scary for him. He's going to have a ton of folks trying to get around him, and looks like we're adding another caution lap to get everybody
Another
back
one.
up. Yeah, they just added one.
Yeah, it's a big track, man. It's hard to get everybody all grouped up together.
It's true. Thanks to Laid Back Racing for sponsoring tonight's race. You can get a hold of them if you're into racing go-karts. They do custom carburetor tunes, engine builds, build you a full cart. I think if you call them and offer them enough money, I'm sure they'd accommodate you. But you can get a hold of them on Facebook at Laid Back Racing, or give them a call on telephone, old school way, 706-969-0778. That's 706-969-0778. Laid Back Racing.
We need a sponsor for cold beer and maybe some beverages for the broadcast crew. You know, sometimes it's hard around the holidays. We trying to make a little extra dollar. Anybody want to sponsor the liquor version for us? You can let us know. That's at least for me in English. I know Brown probably. Brown, yeah, he'd probably take some.
He works a lot of night shift though. He's
Yeah.
got to go to work after this.
as the field rumbles on through turns 3 and 4. Still got to go one more time back around, so we're going to be delaying this restart just a little bit longer as we continue to inch our way closer and closer to that halfway point. We're going to be halfway in just about 15 laps here, boys, at lap 35. And I know the kind of start to this thing's been a little rough, but we had a decent little green flag run going on there where we were able to see some actual racing and passing and seeing what people can do. And man, we got some skillful drivers out there tonight, and the practice is definitely showing up.
Yeah, the 51 of Joshua Moore got another fan mentioned on Facebook. Bruce Muehlberger on Facebook saying go number 51. Thank you, Mr. Bruce, for joining us. Let's check old Twitch over here.
A lot of chatter out there on the
Yeah.
race horn. I wonder what's going on. Guys communicate pretty well with each other.
They're trying to. I think they're trying to get some folks to kind of calm down, regroup.
It's kind of like, when I went to Applebee's today, it didn't start off great, but by the time I finished that cold beer and my meal, it was okay. It was all right.
And you got the sampler?
Oh, no, I got that for the COVID queen. She had the sampler.
What'd you have?
It was like a roast beef dip thing. I don't know, au jus, pretty fancy.
Yeah, French dip, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad, a little salty. Not good for the blood pressure, but
I think we're on the same beat.
it'll eat. Yeah, it'll eat.
So we head on through turn 4. Once again, that pace car going to be making that dive down into pit lane this time. So we're going to be headed back to green flag racing here with Matthew Jones and Curtis Critchley up at the front. This is the first time that Curtis isn't starting from that inside on that front row. So it's going to be a kind of time to see how we can do on that outside as everybody's starting to scatter all around us. Man, it looked like Matthew Jones really struggled to get going on those older tires as we're 3 wide through turn number 1 here.
Ooh. Yeah, 32.
Well, he got himself in a spot now, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's got them stacking up behind, trying everything they can to get around him. There's just not much room. Oh, 32 moving high, 42 Winker dipping down low here.
Oh, yeah, we got trucks scattering all over the place trying to get through and get past that 32 of Matthew Jones, who, like we said, just on those older tires, he's not going to be able to run quite as quick as these guys are on these newer tires, as we got Mark Collins getting challenged here by the 51 of Joshua Moore. This is for 4th place up here at the front. Looks like he's able to hang on to that position as of right now, but Curtis Critchley once again out in front, able to take absolute command after that restart there.
Yeah, the guys doing some ducking and diving back here. 54 down below the 88 here again. Trying to give each other a little bit more room now, I suppose.
Now we're 3 wide behind them. Dylan Ellis, Zach Dillon, and Stone Hutchinson kind of going 3 wide there for just a second. Everybody able to kind of shuffle on through and figure out where to be before they got into that corner.
Richard said he's pulling for that 25. Well, he's watching the 25, I should say, Mark Collins.
Yeah, Critchley's out there leading the Canadians. A lot of... Oh, Coleman got turned 54.
Ooh, he's upside down in the fence.
Upside
Oh,
down.
that's a big one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
ton of trucks involved in this one.
we're getting people all stacked up down this front straightaway.
Yeah, I heard a couple engines blow there. That was the big one.
Yeah, we had a couple guys went through there, kind of arc breaking there.
Yeah, Coleman passed, looked like he passed the 32. It kind of... Oh, man, Matthew Jones was involved in that.
Yeah, let's go back and see. Trying to get a better view on it. Oh,
Super
man.
slippery frog. Go ahead.
That's tough to see. I'm
God.
trying to see exactly what happened here, but
It was an amazing wreck.
oh, I think he drifted up the track just a little too early and clipped that 32, which caused absolute mayhem further on down that backstretch. But I mean, credit where credit is due to Coleman, able to stick the landing on that one for the most part. Unfortunately, his engine was toast and not able to drive back around to the pits.
Yeah, the chef is having a hard time, but it looked like the chef was holding his line as Coleman was making the pass. You know, these trucks throw off a lot of different kind of air when you're going 190 miles an hour, so that might have had a little bit of effect of what just happened. That was wild.
Super slippery frog on Twitch also pulling for Mr. Collins out there. Straight 8 Motor saying, yeah, there's caution number 4. It's good racing if you like to watch Wreckfest. Yeah, there's been some incidents tonight for sure.
As we ride around here with the aid of Derek Rowdy Puckett, he had a little bit of contact there kind of before he got up, just due to everybody kind of getting all checked up and whatnot, but for the most part, able to run right through that one.
Kayla Lawson pulling for the 20th. Justin Lawson on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, Kayla. Appreciate you. Knox
Wow.
Medusa still pulling for Chowdery. Happy that he's running where he's at. Looks like he's sitting 20th.
Yeah, we see like little snippets of really, really good racing. Just something wild happens like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good little green
Yep.
flag run. I wish it was a little longer, but hey, you know, hopefully it'll thin out here.
Team Canada's doing a great job, and
Yeah, they are.
it might be because I'm drinking Canadian whiskey right now. Just to,
Oh.
I'm
Does it
not
come in
Team
purple
Canada or
bag?
anything. It's in a bag. I don't want to give the brand, but it's bagged. I mean, it's a
You can
paper
store
bag.
stuff. You can store
I
stuff
usually,
with bags
mine
in
are
it.
usually in paper bags, you know. So,
Let me ask you this:
yeah.
in your previous life, when you
Correct.
walked up to somebody's window and they had one of them purple bags down the floorboard, what was usually in those bags?
Well, I mean, it was a
Probably shouldn't be.
menagerie of items. Really don't want to give all that away in a previous life. Probably something totally legal, and
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
yeah. That's why I carry my liquor in a paper sack now. I don't want to be misconstrued.
Knox Medusa maybe dropping some clues of maybe who they are, because they wrote on Twitch, "Enjoying the race, you." And there's only one type of person that talks that way. They're from the state that I live in, so I'm trying to figure this one out. I think I may know this person.
I doubt it.
I don't know that you got to look at the grammar of it. There's a period in there, not a comma. Right, so it's enjoying the race.
Enjoying the race. How about
You?
you? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
So
It's
Good
like the
eye.
mass. It's
See?
like the mass singer. We don't know who all our fans are. We have so many fans right now.
Didn't we just have a
It's amazing.
conversation about me needing reading glasses? There you go.
Yeah, just go to the
Exhibit 1.
local pharmacy and get you some of them cheaters. You'll be all right. This seems like a good race for like a stroker ace, you know. Put him in this thing.
as it looks like we'll be going back to green flag racing at the end of this one, just waiting for everybody to get back all stacked up and ready to get going here. Curtis Critchley up at the front. Man, Cale Turville, we don't talk about him a lot like in the previous weeks, but he's doing a great job out there tonight. He's now in second. They're going to be starting on that outside. And no, he had a little bit of rough luck, especially at those plate tracks, but man, he's definitely making it work out there tonight.
Yeah, like you said, you know, with the field that's got a lot of talent like the front of this field does, especially, you're doing something right if you can go up there and start in a podium position and hold on to it this far into the race. Good job by Cale doing that.
Zach Dillon in a 120 machine at a rear end that needs probably some adjustment. See if that affects him as he's sitting in position 15 right now.
As we ride around through turn number 4, that pace car going to be coming back down into this pit lane just any second now, and there they go. So Curtis Critchley once again up here at that front, leading us to this green flag, and away we go, getting a great restart there. Unfortunately, Cale not getting the best restart there. He's going to have somebody up that inside, and that somebody is that 31 of Rick Spencer Walt, as these guys head on through turns 1 and 2 and onto this back straightaway, allowing Curtis to kind of drive away there, and Rick Spencer Walt able to get out in front of Cale as we got cars going all the way down through into the infield, able to collect it. Man, oh man, great save there by, I believe that was the 76.
Michael Hicks.
No, I got my number wrong there. Might have been someone else, but whoever it was, great save.
Talking about Kevin Winker, how all the position he's picked up, but look right there running with him, the 6 of Paul Durkee, starting 22nd. He's currently in 7th. Josh Moore, of course, he's moved up another spot, and behind them, Eric Stoy. And that number 4 truck, he's moved up quite a few spots today. So, and Eastman, another one of them guys who's he's flying to the front, trying to anyway.
Right here in that 39 truck. Also, you know, currently just inside that top 20 is the 33 of Eddie Murray, who we saw had an issue early on, may have blown an engine. He looks like he might be getting past here, but man, he is currently up 15 spots to get to that top 20, so he's having a pretty good run as of right now, looking to maybe try to improve upon that as this race continues to roll on through.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff happening out there. 51, Joshua Moore and the Muleberger Homes had a run on Kevin Winker there, just couldn't pass him in the turn 1. Really hard to pass here. I think we're kind of seeing that.
And so we talked about it during pre-race and before we went live. We said it was going to be a difficult race. We expected quite a few cautions just because, you know, it's hard to be patient sitting behind a couple of guys running side by side, you know, trying to figure out, you know, who you're going to get behind, how you're going to try to get around them, and it just eats at you. And you don't want to just sit there because then you got guys breathing down your tailgate. So it's tough to be patient here, but it's something these guys are going to have to learn to do. And, it's hard, man. It's hard. You're trying to be competitive and fast, and a lot of times the racing at this track just really doesn't allow you to put that truck where you want to put it.
Yeah, but we know near the end of the race, somebody's going to put it where it should be, and that's where all the fun happens. So, yeah, just be a little patient here, and let's get some nice green flag run. It looks like that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Yes, the one of Derek Welch was trying to maybe make a move on that 120 of Zach Dillon, but unfortunately lost the momentum there and not able to get that pass done, so he's going to have to gather things back up to make another attempt at it. Same thing with Justin Lawson there. He was able to get out in front of the 51 of Joshua Moore and try to get to that back bumper of the 4 of Eric Stoy, which he does, but not quite able to make that move just yet for him, as these guys have a great race going on in here just inside of this kind of top 10 area, as Eddie Murray, Michael Hicks, and Derek Rowdy Puckett are all right around each other. Oh boy, that got mighty close, as we got a car. I think that's the 10 of Stone Hutchinson having a little bit of an issue down there, and he ends up getting kind of stuck down into the wall.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's not having an issue is Justin Lawson in that number 20 Colt 45 East Coast Racing truck. Look at the paint scheme on that. It's got Lando Calrissian on it.
Does it really?
Yeah, on the tailgate.
I catch that.
It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Nathan Stanley in the 67 truck also having a pretty solid night. He's only up 4 spots as of right now, currently sitting in 17th. Looks like that outside of the truck has a couple scrapes on it and whatnot, but he's not doing too bad out there, trying to make up a little bit of ground and head on through this field. And fortunately for the 66 of Paul Ferdiani, not having the race he wanted, he's currently in 20th, but down 15 from where he started. He's currently chasing down that 28 of Henry Wyndham.
So most of these trucks, pretty much everybody on the same pit strategy here. Everybody last pitted at lap 17. How far do you think these guys are going to try to push it before they start contemplating coming down to get some tires? I know that
I'm
gonna wait for a yellow one.
I mean, you think, but I mean, I'm sure they're kind of almost ready for it at this point. This thing will eat your tires up for sure.
Oh, hang on to it, you can do it. As Brandon Eastman, man, he got looser than a goose and able to somehow wrangle that thing back under control, as we're only just a few laps away from getting to this halfway point in this race. He's going to lose a few positions because he had to try to get that thing back under control. So Derek Welsh, Zach Staten, and Zach Dillon all getting around him to move on up and try to get closer to that top 10. As looks like Eric Stoy is getting challenged a little bit here from Mark Collins.
Stoy, one of those guys that made a lot of positions up, but Collins going to fight it pretty hard for that spot.
Let's go, Brandon Eastman. Come on, get your spots back there, Brandon.
Sure trying it.
I saw a car kind of tag that outside wall. I couldn't quite make out who it was, but able to keep it under control. Just a little bit of a wall tap as they were coming through that little interchange between 1 and 2. And, you know, I think that's part of the thing we're seeing here is I'm not seeing a lot of, like front-end damage or back-end damage from a lot of these guys. As I said that, looking at Zach Dillon, man, it looks like he backed up into one of those light poles in a parking lot.
Yeah.
But we're seeing a lot of that right-hand side damage from, maybe rubbing up against that wall just a little too much.
Yeah, maybe they're giving somebody, we learned this last night, I'm not going to claim this term, some right side romance? What was that? We heard some,
Heard somebody mention that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Get into somebody up on the high line. Get a little right side romance, yeah. Well, hey, next Tuesday night, we're returning back to the True Super Speedway, Talladega, with these trucks. And big fields on Talladega, you're going to see a lot of big runs, a lot of, we talk about it a lot. These trucks punch a big hole and they draft up so well, and you're going to see a lot of good drafting action at Talladega. It's a really, really wide track. It's huge. We're going to have guys going 3 wide, real deep into the field. So tune in next week, next Tuesday. HCK Beagles are taking these trucks to Talladega. That race is going to be brought to you by Numb Thumbs Gaming. So thanks to those guys for sponsoring next week. We'll make sure and support our sponsors here.
Yeah, I like laid back racing this week. We do a bunch of cool stuff.
As we're now into this closing half of this race, we got Zach Dillon, Derek Welch, and Zach Staten still all fighting for a top 12 spot right now, all grouped up. And we also got Cody Staten making a pass there as the 51 decides he's going to come on down into pit road of Joshua Moore.
Yeah, this is where your strategy is going to start coming into play, maybe. And I think he was tired of it, tired of those tires.
You think that'll start to clue some of these leaders in? You think they're going to start saying, well, maybe it's time. The tap is open now.
Well, if you're Curtis Critchley, you're all the way out front. You really don't have anyone in front of you other than the occasional lap car. And, I mean, you're continuing to put, you know, time and time on the people behind you. So I don't know if Curtis is actually ready to come down yet.
Well, I'm glad we're broadcasting this tonight instead of me having to watch LSU play Kansas State at the Who Gives a Crap Bowl.
Oh, there's a bowl game tonight?
Get beat. Yeah, they're probably going to get beat.
Who would even known? A lot more takers. Brandon Eastman down here. He's coming down with some guys.
So, we got a few more trucks coming in.
Durkee.
Durkee was one of those
Lawson.
Top 10, so here we go.
It's the 408 of Rob Chowdhury tags that outside wall as he's having a pretty good race going on with Paul Ferdiani. Both guys trying to make their way back up through this field and get up into that top 10.
Well, I just really need my federally mandated, 3-minute break at this point. So I will be back with you. Got to take care of the COVID queen. Make sure I spray the Lysol, all those
There you
things.
go. Yeah. Feed her the ice cream through the little slot in the door.
Looks like the Staten boys coming down and taking their pits. And like I said, Curtis Critchley still staying out there. I don't know what a fuel window looks like here, knowing these guys are running, 70% fuel. I would say probably what about, I wouldn't say any more than 25.
It's got to be a bunch. It's got to be quite a few. Well, here comes Derek Welch. He said he's going to come next time down. We just heard him on the radio. This is for all our people out there watching on social medias, on Facebook and Twitch. Do you guys see this green flag pit stop cycle happening without a caution coming out? Because that would that might not help some of these drivers. Let us know what you think. You think everybody will be able to make this cycle without the yellow coming out? Because it's kind of hard getting in and out of here when you're around other cars and trying not to cause that caution.
As we got Kevin Winker, Eric Stoy, Zach Dillon, and Derek Welch all finishing up their pit stops right now. Waiting on this rest of the field to still come on down. Cale Turbeville doing a great job there, riding around in second, still trying to chase down Curtis Critchley in that 27, but man, that gap is 1.5 seconds and growing slowly, mind you, slowly growing, but is growing just a little bit. But he is also doing a great job to pull away from that 13 of Rick Spencer Wall.
Yep, still a few guys out there still on these old tires, fitting in at lap 17. Making our way through the pit cycle nicely. Still got a few more to go here.
Everything's been sanitized nicely. I feel like a new man. I've washed my hands, Lysol. I'm using a mask right now by myself in my room here, just so you know. Y'all want the visual of what it's like to take care of the COVID queen.
You don't have one of those like hazmat suits that blows up with positive pressure?
No, but I'm starting to think that's what I need. So let's get the funding ready. I'll start a GoFundMe page.
GoFundMe.
It's been over a week. This thing's really kicking in. I think the whiskey has kept COVID off of me so far.
Yeah, you got to sanitize internally as well.
That's what I've been trying to do.
It's looking more and more.
Oh, is Dusty Smith having a little bit of an issue?
Looking more and more like we're going to make this pit cycle under green.
Oh, almost didn't have that happen. Let's take a quick back to look what happened at Dusty Smith. The 51 just absolutely tagging the rear end of that truck, sending him all the way down across the track into that inside wall. And Looks like he might be now spraying for some mosquitoes out there. Yeah, that 51 to Joshua Moore just came up on him like, I mean, he was almost standing still by the looks of it, but yeah, big time contact all the way back there. As the leaders now coming on in, so Curtis Critchley, Cale Turbeville, Rick Spencer, Walt, and Kyle Jackson all coming down. Looks like Mark Collins there, who's been riding around in 5th, is going to come down as well. So that's going to give the 408 of Rob Chowdhury the lead here currently as things cycle around. He pitted on lap 24, so that's almost 20 laps ago already.
I just want to talk a little bit more about HCK Beagles Racing League.com. You find your favorite driver on here and you want to learn a little bit more about them. A lot of these drivers have bios on here, like Rob Chowdhury in 408. He's from San Jose, works corporate finance, got 2 beautiful girls, ages 1 and 8. He just started iRacing last year in June, and he's hooked now. He puts up YouTube videos. He's got a little link to his YouTube page if you want to watch him race. Plays competitive adult baseball in local leagues, a few tournaments around the country. He's an A's fan, a 49ers fan, Golden State Warriors fan.
Yeah, this guy does everything.
Pretty cool, man. Paints cars.
Only problem is all the taxes he's having to pay out there. He's probably getting taxed tonight just for playing a little bit of racing simulation.
Maybe so. Oh, got 2 trucks around. The 4 truck just smacked the inside wall. Cody Stanton taking responsibility for it on the radio. They ended up on the access road, no yellow as they stayed off the racing.
No yellow. I mean, it looks like Staten is able to get out of that one relatively unscathed by the looks of it. I mean, see a little paint scuff on that outside, but not too bad. However, the same cannot be said for that 4 of Eric Stoy. His truck is not driving exactly straight right now. And the engine just blew.
Yeah, limping around access road. Oh, that's not going to be good right there. It's so close.
It's a long tow anyway.
It is, but if he can, get a... he's right there at, like, the pit road entrance almost. If he can push that clutch in and coast all the way in, he might be all right, but it doesn't look like he will be able to make it.
Ah, that's heartbreaking. That's a terrible feeling when you can see the end of pit road and you mash the clutch and try to coast in.
Has anybody looked at old Dylan Ellis in the number 18? He's driving a Twinkies truck.
I saw him earlier when he was upside down on the inside wall. Oh, that
Bert
is
Twinkie. Yeah, there's some cool paint schemes out here. They're kind of spreading out a little bit, kind of what we're used to seeing here at Indianapolis.
Dylan in the Twinkie machine.
That he is, as currently Paul Ferdiani holds the lead out here, out in front. Who, like I said, last pitted on lap 24, as we now have 26 laps to go. Currently sitting there in second, though, is the 76 of Michael Hicks. Last pitted lap number 6.
Oh my goodness! That's 40 laps on this on his fuel.
Man, oh man, that is a long time. So Michael Hicks doing a great job out there, but you got to imagine he's got to come down in here at some point. I mean, you're not doing 60 plus laps on a full tank of fuel here, even with the pace laps and all that being involved.
There's just no way.
But as
Well,
of
trying
right,
to stick to this strategy.
as of right now, up 32 spots to be there in second.
Another Canadian, Kyle Jackson, having a pretty good run, setting P8 right now. His truck looks real clean. Like he hadn't hit anything. That's unlike everybody else out here.
Yeah, 4 Canadians in the field today. Showing up strong today for sure.
So now knowing that people have come down and pitted, like Curtis Critchley did there on lap 42. Do you think they're going to try to make it to that lap 70 finish line on this one stop, or do you think we might see these guys come on down? Like, obviously, I would assume if a yellow comes out, everyone's coming down.
Well, let's see what our pit strategists out there on Facebook and Twitch think. You think these guys are going to try to push it to 70 and then jump in if we stay green here? I mean, we know that these tires can last a little while, but how hard do you push them? You know, and of course the yellow flag kind of throws all that out the strategy out the window, as you mentioned.
As Paul Durkee currently riding out in front. Has the lead for the moment, but he's got that 27 of Curtis Critchley all over that back end. Same thing with the 42 of Kevin Winker, who has fought his way all the way back up. All these guys pitted between lap 37 and 42. So, going to be interesting to see what that pit strategy is going to turn out to be, as here comes Curtis Critchley down through the inside, able to get around, and looks like Kevin Winker is going to try to do the same thing and fall right on through. As, man, both trucks almost getting breaking loose there as they came through turns 3 and 4.
Downey just made his pit stop. He's coming around turn 2, getting ready to blend back in on the back stretch.
I'm pretty sure Winker, as captain of Team America, is not real happy seeing a Canadian in front of him, so I think he's going to put the throttle down and try to see what he can do to catch him and wear him down a little bit here.
A little more than 20 laps left to go here at this 2.5 mile historic track. You guys' impressions so far? Is this a race you'd want to watch again? You know, this season, or I know this. I'm sure the season schedule's set. But, is this something you want them to bring back next season? I guess.
I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, you could go to a short track and have a green flag to checkered flag, race, and it'd be amazing. But then you could also show up in the same night and you have 2 laps of green flag racing. It's very difficult to call. I know the beginning of this race was a little rough, but you see now everyone's a little all spaced out. Everybody's got some room, and I mean we've been green flag from this point on. So it's one of those things where darned if you do and darned if you don't. I mean, it's just like one of those plate tracks. It's a very difficult place to race. It's a very technical track. I know people say, "Oh, but come on, they're just making left-hand turns." Nah, it's man, it's tougher than that. I wish it was just as simple as that, but if it was just that simple, as the yellow flag comes out.
What happened there?
Looked like some smoke on the front stretch, so gonna see what happened here. Looked like Rick Spencer Walt has been out of shape. Another Canadian, Refined Motorsports. Like he was trying to make a pass on Eddie Murray, my favorite baseball player, and it didn't work out.
Let's go back and take a look. Eddie Murray on that outside line. Ooh, man, yeah. Rick Spencer Walt just a little too hot, not able to stay down, and gets into that outside of Eddie Murray there, and just enough to come back up onto that racetrack. But you know what? This is going to get that entire field all bunched back up together, and I would say everyone's probably going to come on down now, and I would say this is your money stop.
Yeah, everybody should come down here and slam on 4 new tires. Go ahead and top it off, and yeah, don't miss your pit box here for sure.
Yeah. Well, this is why we like talking about all this pit strategy stuff as these guys are running on a long green flag run, because whenever we do that, man, something always has to have a wrench thrown into it,
The broadcaster curse.
No, it's like rolling dice in Waco. You're gonna roll snake eyes every time. Everybody knows that. It's kind of it's like an educated guess when they're, for your pit strategy. You don't really know, but you're kind of guessing, right? So it happens. It seems to happen quite a bit when we're talking about strategy. And I just like to use the old analogy of rolling dice in Waco.
Well, and you do the best you can with the information you have. I mean, you can't really predict what's going to happen in a lap or two. All you can do is prepare yourself to go in, and you know your equipment better than anybody. So drive the truck how you want to drive it. You know what it needs. You know how long you can last out there. So that's all you can do is, do your best to predict and plan. And hey, when the strategy book goes out the window, you adapt and overcome, and you got to switch gears sometimes.
Yeah. But I just love the old ode to Billy Joe Shaver, R.I.P., one of the most talented musicians ever faced the planet Earth from Texas. That's where I get some of my quotes from, so I don't want to.
I mean, Honky Tonk Hero. He wrote that whole Waylon Jennings record. Yeah.
And there's a story behind that.
That's one of the best albums ever done.
Yeah, so well, we got time. Y'all look up Billy Joe Shaver if you're not from this part of the country. Amazing. R.I.P. I've seen him live. I've met him. I've seen where he shot a guy in the face. I went to that place. Great story. America.
As Joshua Moore, I don't know if he missed his pit box or something, but he last pitted on lap 48 as compared to everyone's lap 51 there. But either way, he came down pit road and he was the first one out. So Joshua Moore in that 51 going to be leading this entire field to this green flag with the 42 of Kevin Winker on that outside, which means Curtis Critchley, man, he had a little bit longer stop than these guys, like a 16.5 second pit stop. So Curtis Critchley not doing the best pit stop. Oh, excuse me, it took him a second for these guys to kind of get all stacked up and in the right position here.
No, he was using the metric system down there, I think, is what the issue was.
I think the 51 had a penalty. I think he's letting the field by. He's staying on the access road here. They may have busted him for speeding, and he said, I don't know here. He's definitely having to let the whole field around. Oh, man, that's not good for the 51. Muleburger Custom Homes, number 51, and Josh Moore.
Well, he was set up. He had previously pitted.
Yeah.
He had
a teammate up there with him.
Falling into place there.
Yep. Winker, his teammate, was up there.
And as a benefit of that, Winker is going to end up controlling this field from that inside line, moving up a physical position, but for in regards to the number-wise, he's now going to be restarting in first with Curtis Critchley on that outside. And Paul Durkee is up there as well in that 6 truck, man. Up 19 spots in third. You got Cale Turbeville restarting here in fourth with Kyle Jackson in that 60 truck fifth. Justin Lawson still having a solid race, sitting right there in sixth with Mark Collins in seventh. Derek Welch in eighth. Rick LePage ninth. And Cody Staten in 10th. That is your top 10 as we get this restart underway, as this field starts to get all back gathered up, ready to go. Green flag racing once again. Great restart there for that 42 of Winker, who's able to get out to that clean, fresh air right off the get-go. Paul Durkee and Curtis Critchley are going to try to fall in line as best as they can, as we got a whole wad of cars behind them trying to inch their way around, as Eddie Murray's having another issue.
Uh-oh.
Keep running.
Yeah, looks like he was able to either tow almost immediately or something, because he was in the pits when we jumped to him. So,
oh yeah, he was.
now we are back live and able to keep on up here with Kevin Winker in that 42, up 30 spots here on the day. Man, doing a great job going up to that inside line, trying to break the draft as much as he can. That's the other thing we really haven't even talked about. was, yes, you want that clean air in these corners, but man, on those back straightaways and the front straightaway, you really want the draft here, as these cars have the most ridiculous of suck-up effects.
Oh, we almost had a wreck back here between a couple of trucks. Oh, man, the 18 is going really slow right now. He was one of those trucks that got sideways, I believe. That's Dylan Ellis in the Twinkies machine. Twinkies Toyota.
As Curtis Critchley and Kevin Winker are side by side here, battling it out for the lead here with 16 laps to go, about to go 15 laps to go as they come across that line.
Straight 8 motor on, and Richard Gray on there pulling for None Thumbs Racing out there. Straight 8 motor also saying Team Canada. He said, how about that #1 truck out there? We've watched Derek Welch out there just run a consistent, clean race in that #1 machine. He's hanging on that 7th spot right now. Pretty good race for Derek up there.
And it is, in fact.
Our other Derek out there in the field, Mr. Rowdy Puckett in that 8 truck. He's up 10 spots, but he's had some issues out there in that 8 machine. Kind of mired in traffic right now.
Yeah, almost 3 wide back here in front of Rob Chowdhury. He's kind of watching these guys battle it out. He looks like he's going to try to make his move in the 408 in and out truck.
You got Henry Wyndham there. You got Nathan Stanley. You got Zachary Staten all bunched up here, racing for trying to get up into this top 12 and maybe in the future get up into this top 10. As the 15 of Cody Staten's getting challenged here by the 120 of Zach Dillon, who's not leaving that back bumper.
Eric Stoy trying to fight a little traffic on the outside of Puckett here. They're 2 wide, 2 deep right here for, what position is this for? This is for a top 20 spot. Puckett and Stoy trading a little paint there. At the 13 of Rick Spencer Walt pushing the issue 2, trying to stay low here. Trying to take a position or 2. Ooh, now it's 2 wide, 3 or 4 deep now.
Yeah, you got Dusty Smith in there. You got that 51 of Joshua Moore in there. Same thing with the 97 of Rodney Griffin. That is a name we definitely haven't mentioned. Oh, no, as the 97 goes for a ride, able to collect it. How do we not have Oh, man. Talk about a save of the century there from that 97.
And Dusty Smith came on the radio right away. He's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. He got a little bit, putting in a little bit hot. Loosened that 97 truck up, but all's good. Staying green here. We're coming up on about, 12 to go here.
That we are, but man, you know what? That's why I really like these trucks. You can race them hard, and when you make a mistake or, something happens, you're given the opportunity to save it. And I mean, you saw that there. There's no reason why Rodney should have been able to save that, but he did. And man, that is just pure straight up talent.
Adam, we talk about that a lot, about these trucks being so fun to drive because they're forgiving, If that would have happened in a Cup car or Xfinity car with a smaller spoiler and stuff, they would have been all the way around. They wouldn't have been able to save that thing.
No, they're very durable, and they throw up a great draft. And you can make runs on these guys, on your friends and foes out there, unlike, maybe the Cup package here in iRacing. iRacing is a simulation. It's not a game. Everybody knows that. But they have some great things going on with iRacing. Oh, we lost a few here.
Oh, boy, as we got a big caution. Oh, big time wreck. We got a parking lot. Trucks flipping upside down, rolling all around.
Zach Staten, the 88, involved in that. I thought that was a little bit of net code talking about. We'll have to rewatch it.
28 of Wyndham got the worst of that, I think. It looked like Ricky Bobby flipping out there.
Yeah. It looked like net.
Oh, it was. There was a solid foot between those guys, but it simulated that they got together, and unfortunately, where they were sitting on the track, people not able to check up in time and cause absolute mayhem as everything kind of went down around there. Let's see, I think Nathan Stanley was able to get through that somehow. Let's take a roll bar ride with him. Oh, it happened right in front of him. As you got, man, the 13 of Rick Spencer Walt. If he had a convertible, he could have reached his hand up and high-fived, who was that? I think Zach Staten.
Yeah,
He went under him.
The Staten went as high as the grandstand here. That was pretty awesome. He almost went into orbit.
Knox Medusa saying, is it just me or the racers getting more aggressive towards the end of the race? And Straight 8 Motor saying what the rest of us are heading on that was, hey, that's normal procedure, especially for a competitive league like this. Yeah, they're as the lap, these guys know how many laps are left and what they think they can do. So, yeah. You're going to see the aggression ramp up.
It's competitive, but there was netcode there, and if those of y'all are watching, I think we had a question about netcode the other day, and
yeah, we did.
It's kind of like it's a computer type of glitch that iRacing just, there's a lot going on with these trucks. It's hard to calculate everything to the millisecond, and it almost, you're within a foot or so, you don't actually hit, but it kind of simulates a crash.
Yeah, computer kind of perceives it based on the data it sees. Yeah.
Right. A lot of data going on here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Carol Hansley pulling for Andrew Hansley in the 24. Andrew's currently 2 laps down. Kind of been stuck back there in the high 20s all night for position, but still out there running. We don't have a lot of quitters in this league. They like to stay out and run. There's a lot of camaraderie in this league. We see it a lot. We see leagues that don't have the formula quite right, and they lose drivers. This league's pretty good about keeping guys together.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hatred in some leagues. I kind of like that, but these guys, there's not much hatred here. It's really fairly clean racing, and like that incident there, you can't really chalk that up to anything. But
I mean, it was close racing, and one truck was a little loose on the outside. They were squeezing together a little bit, but I mean, there was still like a solid foot of space between them, and definitely a netcode situation there.
Still gonna have 21 cars on the lead lap for a field this big. That's pretty good. 36 started. Actually, I don't think Michael Reynolds gridded his car. I think he might be one of our race controller guys. I'm not really sure.
I see a little note here on Discord, a little peek under the curtain. Looks like he didn't make the drivers meeting and he couldn't race. So.
Oh, okay.
I think that's kind of got pretty hard fast on some of the rules here.
Yeah.
Like to have seen him out here, but stuff happens.
Yeah, rules are rules, They're there for a reason, and I'm sure Mike's going to do the best he can to get.
You seem like a rule guy. Like you follow the rules for the most part.
I try to, and I'd still like to see him race tonight, but hey, so hey man, make the race meeting. There's going to be important information you need to know. They're trying to keep the racing clean and everything, of course. But hey man, stuff happens. I mean, I've been late to stuff before, and it happens. Yeah, Patrick Lutman on Facebook, pulling for Eric Stoy in the 4. Thanks so much for joining us, Patrick. Good to see some new faces, new names on Facebook and Twitch tonight. Thank all of y'all for tuning into the streams. You guys are the reason we do this. It's a lot of fun doing this for you guys. So, thanks so much for coming on, cheering on your family and friends.
Yeah, the more you support these guys and share the pages and links and
That's right.
Facebook posts of the broadcast and anything that HCK Beagles Racing League puts out there, the more they're going to get out of it. The
That's right.
better the racing is going to be, the more there's going to be sponsors involved, more sponsors. We have some now, but you can always push this thing to the limit, man. Some good racing and get everybody out here watching, all your friends and family. They might not know they like iRacing until they watch one of these broadcasts and realize, hey, man, this looks like the real deal, feels like the real deal.
It's a lot of fun.
So if you like racing, this is where you need to be.
Helps the sponsors for sure, and it helps this great league grow. Yeah, that's definitely what we want.
As this field comes down, getting ready to take to this green flag again, being led by Zach Dillon and Nathan Stanley, who did not pit this last time. So you know what it is time for with 7 laps to go. Once when this green flag waves, it's time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, throw inhibition out that window. We are going racing here tonight. 7 laps to go here in the laid back racing 175 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh, as we got big time contact going on behind these guys. Looks like the 6 of Paul Durkee's going for a crazy ride down through the infield.
That's Paul. I'm sorry. Kyle Jackson in the 60 got turned. No yellow as he stayed below the racing surface. 6. I think the 6 truck is who got into him.
He wasn't happy either about that. So now we got some rivalries brewing.
6 and the 60, Durkee and Jackson.
These
guys are still fighting up front, aren't they?
That they are. Curtis Critchley finally able to get around that 120 of Zach Dillon, who was putting up a heck of a fight there, but on 10-lap older tires, man, it was definitely a struggle. So Curtis back out in front, being chased down a little bit here by Cale Turbeville, trying to get out there in front. Kevin Winker now looking to the inside of the 120 of Dillon, trying to put his name back into that hat. Same thing with the 20 of Justin Lawson, who's been sitting patiently waiting there in 6th place just about all race long. And man, if he was ever to make a move, now would definitely be the time here with 6 laps remaining.
Lawson's fan club's cheering for him on Facebook. You know they want him to start making some aggressive moves here. He's been lying in wait like a snake ready to strike, boy. He's ready.
You also got Cody Staten here in 7th, trying to make his way up through this field. And he's already up 3, but currently sitting in 7th. And he is trying to make a move and get around that 120 of Zach Dillon now. And man, that just goes to show you, even 10 laps, what that kind of difference makes on some of these tires.
Derek Welch had one hell of a pass on that fuchsia and white machine. And Staten in the 15 saw him do it and said, man, I'm going to do the same thing. Sure enough, it worked for him. I think Zach Dillon may have some damage. He does look like he's running a little bit off pace as the 7 starts to look low.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're not, there's no more cautions that Curtis Critchley's that's dominating this race, kind of like he has the entire time. So, only thing I think the other guys can hope for at this point is a little incident.
We're coming down to it, though.
That's the 4 of Eric Stoy shooting through a gap that was created and disappeared in a matter of moments, able to get out in front of Rick LePage in that 7, now trying to make a move here on that 120 of Zach Dillon, as we now have 4 laps remaining.
Oh! 51 had a huge run. And the 7 said, nuh-uh. You're not going to pass me on the outside. They're 3 wide.
They're 3 wide, almost 4 wide here. As that 7.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got a little bit of contact. They're able to hang on to it there, as we got that, I think it was the 29, the 25, Mark Collins in that. You got the 408 of Rob Chowdhury in there, all having a great battle, which is what you want to see here at the end for every position that you can gain. You got
more than 51 was involved in that too, but now he's looking low here on the 25.
It looks like he will get the run and make that pass complete As Cody Staten having a little bit of an issue here. He's in the inside grass and the wall.
Uh-oh. We're staying green, though, here. Coming up on...
kept it out of the way, yeah.
Almost a 2 to go. Let's see if we can finish this thing green.
As Curtis Critchley continues to slowly increase his lead on Cale Turbeville. Cale still has a chance, though. That gap is only about 3/4 of a second, so he can dig as deep as he can. He can possibly find some extra speed and catch on up here now with 2 laps to go, but other battle to watch here, the 42 of Winker. He has Justin Lawson in that 20 breathing down his neck. Same thing with that 1 of Derek Welch. He's right there as well. So, I mean, even this battle to just get a 3rd place finish isn't over yet.
Saw 39 making some pretty good moves on the inside here. Now he's inside the 50. 51 is in the outside wall, a little bit scraping.
Oh, there's some action all over the place back here with Eastman. The 120 of Zach Dillon.
About to have to give it back to Mr. Brown to call this last lap because we're almost there.
Almost there. The question is, will we take this white flag before a caution comes out as everyone mixes and mingles around? And yes, we do. So final lap here at Indianapolis tonight. No more cautions, no more pacing. This lap will do it. Curtis Critchley down through turn 1 and turn 2. Has about a second lead over Cale Turbeville, just a back straight and a couple turns away from picking up the win here tonight. Kevin Winker also looks like he is able to drive away a little bit there from the 1 of Derek Welch and the 20 of Justin Lawson, so he's quite clear as well. So I think our top 3 here is going to be all set as Curtis Critchley goes through turn number 4 for the final time, exiting out down onto this front straightaway and coming down across this 1 yard of bricks, the finish line, and your winner, the 27 of Curtis Critchley.
Boy, Chowdhury had some problems back there, and some really good battle, 13, 12, 14. You know,
I'm not
just
sure
backwards numbers.
He had to tow.
Yeah. Quite an ending there.
As Rick Spencer Walt also digging as deep as he could, able to finish there in 6th. That battle between Derek Welch and Justin Lawson went to Derek Welch, so Derek Welch finished there in 4th with Justin Lawson in 5th. But, man, the big winner of the night, that's Mr. Curtis Critchley in that 27.
Yeah, Team Canada scoring a win tonight. Georgia boy, Cale Turbeville, picks up a 2nd place. Kevin Winker in the 42, fighting his way up, 28 positions or something to finish in 3rd. Derek Welch, one of your numb thumbs guys, solid finish at 4th. And Justin Lawson in the 20. Hold it very, very consistent all day, picking up that 5th spot.
Yeah, they're gonna take their picture here at the yard of bricks. Maybe somebody's gonna drink some milk. I don't know. Quite a little finish there, especially in that little battle 10th and beyond there. Went a little wild back there.
Yeah, it got a little crazy back there for the 408 truck. Rodney Griffin, too, I believe, was involved in one of the little incidents back there.
That it was, but as people start to funnel down into our waiting channel, let's start off with some interviews here. And we'll start with our 3rd place finisher. That's going to be Mr. Kevin Winker, who is also your hard charger of the day, up 28 spots to finish with a solid 3rd place on the final podium here. Now, Kevin, you had to battle through some absolute craziness that went on through this entire field, and especially towards the end, you found yourself out there in front, man. Congratulations, and talk about how tough of a race this actually was. I know the beginning was a little rough. You had a few quick cautions there, but we did also see some green flag running.
Yeah, it was a good race overall. Just once you're back in traffic, it's so hard to pass, and then I screwed up both my qualifying laps, so that's why I didn't post time. So I started back there, got up to about 15th, and then I had a great pit stop, and then I made my way up there, and then I kind of undercut there that green flag stop, so I got ahead of Curtis, but then that caution came out. I was wondering what would happen if it would have stayed green there, so I think I might have had him with the undercut, but never know.
Well, thanks for your service, by the way. We saw that you were a soldier, U.S. Army vet. The HCK Beagles Racing League does have a, a website now with some driver bios and stuff on there. So thank you for your service, first of all. And talk about next week, because y'all are going back super speedway racing. Team America, y'all are pretty solid working together when you guys can get together. Is the key to next week making sure you guys kind of stay around each other to help each other?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially at them plate tracks, you need your teammates to help you, as you ain't going nowhere. So yeah, the plan is for us four to hopefully hook up and then some kind of game plan and make our way to the front next week.
Well, unfortunately, Team Canada got the best of y'all this week. Team America, Captain Team America, but you had a heck of a run. 28 spots. What was it like trying to come to that field? I know this is a tough place to pass, but man, you worked your way up there.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic in the beginning there. It was trying to get around guys 3 wide, and yeah, it was pretty crazy there in the beginning. But then once it got strung out, then it was kind of picking them off one by one because a bunch of guys used up their right front so you could reel them in and get by them.
Well, man, again, congrats on the third place finish. It was definitely hard fought and a very impressive performance out of you here tonight. Before we let you go, you got any shout outs you want to get out there and put out onto the YouTube land?
Just thank my fiance for watching every race. You guys in the broadcast booth, you guys kill it every week. Greg, Eddie, Austin, the guys that run this league, my teammates, Josh, Zach, and Cody for being there every week practicing. And then, yeah, just a great league to be a part of here.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats, and we look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season as we continue to tick these weeks off one by one.
Thank you, sir.
Let us now head on up to our second place finisher, and that's going to be Mr. Cale Turbeville. Man, Cale, you had a great run out there all dang race. Just not quite able to pick up the win here, but a solid second place finish. I know the beginning was a little rough with all those restarts and whatnot, but man, you did a heck of a job out there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really want all those cautions at the beginning like that, but I don't know. It kind of threw me for a curveball having that many that early in the going.
So you were one of the most consistent guys we saw out there today. What was the key to staying out of trouble? Was it just staying as close to the front as you can and keeping as many cars behind you as you can? I mean, it didn't look like a lot of you guys were having problems conserving tires if you stayed in clean air. Was that kind of the case?
Yeah, it was for the most part. I mean, just try not to get dive bombed into the corner from behind. One thing you kind of had to worry about a couple times.
Well, I mean, do you think the track was hot out there, and some of those green flag runs, those tires get ate up pretty bad? Do you think that had maybe caused some of the issues with the guys behind you there?
I think it did a decent little bit. I know that hot track threw me for a loop in qualifying. Wasn't really expecting it to be like that.
Well, man, you definitely pulled through here tonight. I know a couple weeks you had some rough goings of it, and that's just how plate tracks kind of go. But tonight, it's a driver's track, and you definitely showed you're a real driver out here tonight. Before we let you go, you got any shout-outs you want to get out there or anything like that?
Yes, sir. My mama, my daddy, my cousin and her whole family watching. My real-life racing team. thanks to all them, my sister, and yeah.
They were all pulling for you on Facebook and Twitch and everything. So you got a lot of shout outs tonight from the family. So that's a good thing to have good support.
Yes, sir. I hear them over in the other room laughing at me.
Well, man, we'll let you go and go and enjoy this second place finish here tonight, and congrats, and look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
You bet.
And now we will move right on up to tonight's big time race winner. That's that 27 of Curtis Critchley, who, man, I wish I could say that you had it in the bag the entire time. It was pretty close to that. I think the only time you really weren't in first was whenever you pitted. But other than that, man, you absolutely dominated here tonight. And I think that also just goes to show the talent level that you got, because we knew you were talented just watching you through all the plate tracks and seeing you up front just about every dang time. But, man, having a performance like you did here today at Indianapolis, man, that is certainly something to write home about.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it just takes time to just learn these tracks and get good at it. And I wasn't really that good when I have only been on the service for like 2 years now, and then really it took me forever to kind of break through a barrier. But it's just kind of more sim time and getting seat time in the car, and you just kind of gotta suspend your suspension of disbelief, because it's definitely not the same as driving a real race car or driving a real car. You just gotta figure out how to like sense with your eyes, you know what I mean? Because that's your only feel, is that you gotta feel like the car rolling with your eyes. And
You lose a lot of sensation not feeling the body roll and stuff of the car, and force feedback's all you really got. And I tell you what, you were one of the best out there of being able to perceive that that loose condition maybe starting to come in, or maybe you could feel the car getting a little tighter. And at a technical track like this, you're one of the best guys in the league at being able to recognize what's going on with the car and how to adapt and everything. So it was a lot of fun watching you race out there tonight. And was that kind of the key? Was just kind of identifying what's going on with the car?
Yeah, it was kind of like sliding the car around a little bit much, because you never was fully off the gas. You're fully on the gas through the corners. It was kind of like getting in there, letting off, getting your nose settled down, and then kind of using the exit. And then once you feel your rear tires start to grow up, then starting to roll into it. The best advice I would kind of say to some people is just to kind of mess around with the open setups and just try to get a looser car, and then just try to practice sliding the car around. That's honestly my best advice.
Because it kind of comes to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of started neutral, and then it could get loose if you really try to force it, but then eventually, especially if you're in lap traffic here, is pushing to the wall really hard if you were behind anybody. So that's why on the restarts you want to get to the front as within 3 laps before everybody got tight.
Well, you're giving all your tricks of the trade away, sounds like. I just made some notes. I just made some notes. That's some pretty good stuff for man from Canada. What about Canada versus America rivalry? Looks like y'all are starting to get the best of these American boys.
Yeah, well, they'll have to step it up, eh?
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, man. Well, again, walking away here, a race winner. Before we let you go, do you got any shout-outs you want to put out there or anything like that?
Yep. Mom and Dad for watching. Shout out to Refined Motorsports guys, and also Nexus Esports for putting me on the team for this next Road to Pro season coming up, and hope to do some good things coming up.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on picking up the win here tonight, and best of luck in that Road to Pro and the rest of this season, buddy.
Thank you very much.
That's not easy to do that Road to Pro stuff, man. That guy's for real.
No, it is not.
I really did make notes because you know how bad I am at this, but he made it kind of sound like anybody can do this.
He definitely did there, but that also concludes the race in action here for tonight. And I know it started off a little rough tonight there, boys, but we got some green flag racing in there at the end.
Yeah, pretty good finish. I mean, didn't work out for everybody. We had a couple guys that involved in some last lap stuff going on, and hey man, that's part of it. And once they take the white flag, it's kind of the aggression kind of does step up, the sense of urgency and stuff. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of last lap spins and wrecks, and all you can do is just hope you're not involved in it and try to dodge it if you can. And unfortunately, a couple of trucks out there could not do that. So
Yeah, so we'll start running down our finishing order for everybody here tonight. Let everybody know where their favorite driver ended up finishing here. So that 27 of Curtis Critchley, man, walking away the race winner. I'd love to see the total numbers of laps led by him, because I'm almost certain he probably led at least half the laps ran here tonight, which is absolutely ridiculous. Cale Turbeville also having a great race there in that 64 truck, able to walk away with a second place. Heard it from the 42 of Kevin Winker, up 28 spots. Your hard charger of the day, able to come away on that final podium position in third. Derek Welch in the one truck had a great race as well tonight, able to come away with a fourth, with Justin Lawson just shy of that, but having a solid top 5 finish there in that 20 truck. You had that 13 or 31 of Rick Spencer Walt finishing here in 6th, with the 4 of Eric Stoy having a solid race, finishing 7th. You had Rick LePage there in the 7 truck, also having a great race in 8th, with Brandon Eastman. Man, that boy got banged around a bunch early on, but able to settle down into a run up 21 spots to finish 9th. And rounding out that top 10 is the 25 of Mark Collins.
Joshua Moore in that 51 Muhleberger Custom Homes machine finishes in 11th place. The 6th, Paul Durkee in 12th. The 120 of Zach Dillon finishing in 13th place, right where he started. 14th place goes to Stephen Naylor in the 5 truck. Michael Hicks in the 76, finishing 15th. 16th place goes to Nathan Stanley in the 67 truck. Kyle Jackson in the 60, finished 17th. He dropped a few spots. Part of that was due to an accident that happened kind of late in the race. The 66, Paul Ferdiani, dropped from 5th, where he started to 18th. First truck, 1 lap down, the 408 of Rob Chowdhury. He had to tow. We talked a little bit about it. Involved in an accident on the last lap, and had to tow, and ended up being the first truck. Scored 1 lap down in 19th, and the 97 to Rodney Griffin, kind of similar situation. I think he was involved in that same incident, also finishing 1 lap down, and he'll round out your top 20.
Yeah, 121 Dusty Smith in 21st place. 88 Zachary Staten, Team America, 22nd. Number 12, Austin Johnson in 23rd. 18th of Dylan Ellis, 24th. The 24 of Andrew Hansley the 4th in 25th. 28th of Henry Wyndham, 26th. 15, another Team America driver, Cody Staten, 27th. 75 of Brian Skidmore, 28th. Looks like 8 of Derek Rowdy Puckett in 29th. 33, great baseball player and driver, Eddie Murray, 30th. 54 of Brandon Coleman, 31st. 61 of Kyle Hackett, 32nd. 10 of Stone Hutchinson, 33rd. The 32 of the Chef, Matthew Jones, 34th. And 31 of Brad Taylor, 35th. And Michael Reynolds looks like he got the old black flag for the race, so he didn't get he got the last place, 36th position. So fun race, guys. Had a blast with y'all.
Hey, Brown, I got that data for you.
All
Curtis
right.
Critchley led 57 out of 70 laps tonight. 57. If that's not a dominant performance, I don't know what is. Nobody came close. So good job on Curtis to lead that many laps. That's almost unheard of. And he had the fastest lap time of the race, a 53.094, which was much quicker than anybody else. So, hey, the guy put in the time, put in the practice, and our Canadian brother to the north in that 27 truck, he did the job tonight.
Man, oh man, that is certainly impressive. And that concludes today's broadcast here of the HCK Beagles Super Speedway League from Indianapolis. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. You guys are the reason why we do this, is to sit back, hang around, and watch some great racing action day in and day out, and just have some good old fun. We also like to thank Laid Back Racing. You can see their phone number, and you can also search for them on Facebook for all your racing karting needs. Definitely go check them out, whether that's engine rebuilds or maybe some chassis modifications or carburetors or something. They're the ones that you definitely want to talk to maybe try to get you down into that victory lane like the 27 of Curtis Critchley here tonight. So go definitely give them some love and tell them, the HCK Beagles Super Speedway League sent you down there. And I believe that is all the announcements and whatnot for tonight. So I'm Alan Brown. For Alan English and Adam Turner, we are signing off.
We gone.
Yeah.
The sun has blazed my shoulders, it's hanging my shadow from the vagaries of my past. It's a story that's so familiar to anyone who's seen and done the same.